Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fifi Farisha binti Asmawali, and I'll do a paper review on a data visualization which are assigned to me. So for this short paper and a paper review, I'll do a review on data visualization challenges and tools of problem solving. So this paper consists of 5 sections, which are introduction, big data visualization challenges, approaches solving data visualization, types of visualization, and also the conclusion. So I'll just go straight to the first section of this paper. Okay, so for the introduction, data visualization is a graphical representation of information and data. It can be represented in charts, graph, or even a map depending on your data set and what are your objectives in doing these data visualizations. So therefore, data visualization tools provide an accessible way to see and understand the outliers, the trends, and the pattern of the data. So the reason why data visualization is crucial is that especially in big data, or when you're having a massive amount of data, is that the form and the visual attracts the it's either the user or from the business perspective to understand the data, and from the figure we can see the trend and also the outliers. So the challenges in this short paper that I chose is that the perceptual scalability, real-time scalability, and also interactive scalability. So in perceptual scalability, there is 2 items under it, which are the human perception and also the limited screens. So for the human perception, explain that the weakness of human eyes to extract data from a data set itself. So this is the disadvantages, is that the human eyes couldn't extract hidden meaning from the data sets, especially when the data set is getting bigger and bigger. So for the limited screen, we have disadvantages are the overload of data leads to visualization will be inaccurate, which is not to be useful and helpful for the company or the business or the data set itself. So the next challenges in implementing the data visualizations are the real-time scalability. So providing users with a visual real-time data and a real-time decision based on the current available data is crucial and useful for the users. However, real-time couldn't able to process a massive data, a huge amount of data, as it is it's too burden for a real-time data to handle. So in real time, the limitations are the data connectivity and the limited storage and also the data processing. Next, the last challenges in this paper are the interactive scalability. So by definition, the interactive data is a visualization helps to comprehend the sharpness of data quicker and better. So as mentioned before, in even the previous challenges, is that the huge data would take time and analyze before the visualization process. So this is going to, for the interactive scalability, it takes two parties to participate and to understand the trend or the pattern of the data from the data visualizations. Next is the tools. Okay, these has few approaches of data visualization. So this is the third section. Okay, so for the third section, we have the approaches solving data visualization, which visualizing data is useful to translate the data into insights and also actions. So this helping hands comes up with a better detectable features and valuable data representation to able to analyze the data in finding unravel connection between the data in the big data. So I present here is 4 types of tools. Here we have the Tableau, D3, D3 also known as data driven document. We have processing and also charts. So the Tableau is useful for corporate purposes that give the opportunity to create graph. As you can see on your screen now, we have the bar graph, we have the line graph, we have the pie chart. So these are one of the characteristics and one of the features that we have under the Tableau tools. So this helps in order most of the company of the business perspective, even a student used to find a relation and to understand the trend and the patterns of a data set, which is much more clearer and easy to understand by the users or probably outsiders. So next we have D3. As mentioned before, D3 is a data-driven document. This is approach in small in size, and this is used in JavaScript library in order to implement the HTML document given the data. So this will bring the data into a real life, into a combination of D3, which give a full extension to the users of the digital browsers. Next, the third tools here I have processing. Processing is especially designed for a website similar to D3 previously that I talked about. Processing and data visualization uses a JavaScript library, so both this D3 and processing using the same approaches, which are the JavaScript, and also processing are known as a famous sister project of processing visual programming languages. So these two, D3 and processing, are useful in different way, which is it has a deeper meaning to understand a set of data. So the processing web oriented and therefore the processing web oriented give the user to bring the processing function in its own web. Okay, so that is why the example here, the example I shown is much more seems like a web kind of representation. Okay, last but not least, for the tools I have charts. So charts has 6 supporting types, which are the radar, the donuts, polar, line, pie, and also bar. So what I show here is a bar charts, but this one is almost similar to Tableau, but it has a different kind of features that is will be used depending on the objective of your paper or your data sets. So this kind of supporting charts help to visualize information simpler and straightforward. As I mentioned, it has the same connection with the Tableau. So as you can see here, different kind of tools here has a different kind of representation. Depends on what kind of data set you'll be using to analyze your data. Because we understand that not every data and not every approaches or objective are can be visualized with the same type of tools. Like everything can't be visualized only by bar charts, or probably maybe just only by the line chart. So these kind of different kind of tools helps in to solve different kind of problems. Okay. Next, I have the types of data. So what I talk about in this type of data, I have 3 types that I chose to put into my short paper, what I would like to review in my paper, which are the linear data visualization, volumetric data visualization, and also network data visualizations. So as you can see here, linear data visualization is the list of information is organized by a single features or format. For example, something that is organized by the alphabetical orders. So this kind of data is rather is a data organized order rather than visualing data or visualing methods. So due to these weaknesses, this method is called as one-dimension data visualizations. So the second part, this is interests me actually. So I have this volumetric data visualizations. So this volumetric data visualization is an approach where the data is needed to represent in 3-dimension form. So as I mentioned, it's a 3D form. So this includes the simulation, surface, and the volume rendering. And this type of method or approaches are much more used in scientific method or purposes. Okay, on top of that, this approach requires every sample of information given to be mapped to opacity and color to explain the meaning behind of the data inserted. So I showed a picture in my short paper. Probably you can just refer from the slide and my short paper. So the third types of data visualizations are the network data visualizations. So network data visualization is used generally to represent the problematical form of hierarchy by its relation. So this method displays the information in either directed graph or undirected graph. So this method reveals the purpose is to reveal the relationship between the entities. Also, you can see the one of the figures I've shown in the short paper. So I would like to talk more generally in my presentations. Okay, so lastly, for the fifth section, I have my conclusion here is that a modern way for me is the data visualization updated is a modern way to represent the data as proof that the modern way has the better alternative way to handle this massive amount of data, which is suitable for handling big data analytics. So in this paper also we have discussed the challenges faced and the approaches that is used to solve these kind of problems in general. So I believe that different problem occurs with different solution to overcome this. It has more, they have multiples of choices of tools and other kind of problems. So these are few things that I talk in my paper. So these approaches presented above is to provide a new idea for user to solve the problems they may face while doing or completing the task. So the rapid rise of capacity of contemporary computers enable the process of collecting, storage, and analyzing huge amount of data where it is impossible to use in the past year. So all these new updated data visualization form or features helps a lot in data scientists, especially in order to visualize data and to understand the trend and patterns. So therefore, in order to represent huge amount of data, mainly in big data, the features of data visualization is helpful in terms of tools and techniques to solve and understand the data set hidden meanings. So thank you so much. Bye. Assalamualaikum.